Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some truly hilarious news breaking today. What's hilarious? Well, Prince Andrew getting arrested. That's what's hilarious. Now, you might think I'm being a bit strange finding that funny, but I'll tell you why it's funny. There's two reasons why it's side-splitting hilarity in my house. First of all, the great and the good, and the BBC and the Guardian and Sky News and Channel 4 and all the American mainstream media are all reporting on it avidly, as if they haven't been covering up for these people for the last 40 years. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's grimly amusing. The second thing that's funny about it is that, a lot of people felt sorry for Prince Andrew. It's not good, is it, being the spare, knowing that your brother's going to be the king? And they say, secretly Andrew always wanted to be king. Well, he is now, isn't he? He gets to be the king of the kiddie fiddlers. Right, here we go. I haven't done a big story about nonsense for a while, so makes for a nice change, doesn't it? Here's AP's version of events. I don't want to give the BBC the honour of reading their live stream because I think more than any news organisation on planet Earth, the BBC have been covering for pedos for the last, century. So, they've even got a statue of one nailed to the front of the building. How many more clues do you want? The only way the BBC could make it more obvious is if they dug up Jimmy Savile, stuffed him, and sort of splayed his fingers, and then put him in the foyer as a novelty hat stand for visiting kiddie fiddlers to put the jackets and the hats on before they go upstairs and, I don't know, share highly illegal illicit material with Hugh Edwards and the boys. Anyway, let's talk about the story, shall we? Unless you're living under a rock, you're well aware former Prince Andrew's been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office over ties to Epstein. Well, I'll stop you there, lads. I'll stop you there. How come he's getting arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office and not because he appears to be the king of the diddlers? Any idea? No? Don't want to talk about that? All right. I guess we won't then. There he is getting led away by the Rozzers. I love the way he's put all his gongs on as well. Yeah, mega earned them, didn't he? So far in the rear, he had to send his laundry forwards. Shut up, Andy. Get in the van. London AP, arrested by the Rozzers, only for links to Eppers. Misconduct in public office. So they've obviously done a deal already, haven't they? It was the first time in nearly 4 centuries that a senior British royal was placed under arrest. Yeah, well, we've been saying that for ages, haven't we? We've been scraping the barrel for yonks. So, of course, it's happening now. I'm amazed we haven't copied our long-distant forebears and physically dragged all of our MPs and Lords out of the Houses of Parliament, and Lords respectively, stuck them in the stocks and then launched rotting vegetables at them for 3 weeks. It's about time we went back to, traditional way of doing things, isn't it? I'm all for it. In fact, judging by the way they clearly rig elections nowadays, maybe we should go way back. And when I'm talking about doing things the old-fashioned way, I do, of course, mean not bothering with the ballot box, just lining up in a massive field with spears and pikes and swords and morning stars and shit, and, caving each other's heads in until we get a victor, because it seems that that's the only way things are actually going to get sorted out in the UK at this point. Because if you vote for something, you get the exact opposite, don't you? We all know that. We've been voting to prosecute our corrupt MPs for 40 years. We've been voting for closed borders, mass deportations, and no more immigration since long before Blair took power. And all we've got is, exponential increases in immigration to the point where it's almost like they're springing out of the ground like wet gremlins. Things aren't working, are they? Things aren't working. So this is exactly what you'd expect in 2026. King Sausage Fingers III, widely despised, appalling taste in women, fingers like Swiss rolls, jug ears, possibly got webbed feet, the jury's out on that one, and secret worshipper at the big golden Bell End Church, right? We know he gets his breakfast at Alan's snack bar every morning. Christopher Hitchens said that 20 years ago, and he was proved right as well. God rest his soul. Thames Valley Police, which covers areas of West London, including Mountbatten Windsor's former home, said a man in his 60s who is from Norfolk. It's funny how they just play these games, isn't it? Everybody knows who he is. Shut up and get on with it. Police did not identify the suspect in line with standard procedures. Pointless. As usual, England clinging to pointless traditions. It's breaking news in 140 countries. Not only should they have named him, they should have put him in a lime green neon shell suit, nailed his feet to the roof of a meat wagon, and drove him round the local council estate for 2 hours whilst, someone rang a bell. It's totally pointless, this. So, yeah, there we go. He's in the nick. Mountbatten Windsor moved to the King's private estate in Norfolk after he was evicted from his long-time home. Police previously said they were assessing reports that he sent trade information to Epstein. Course he did. And convicted diddler. Course he is. And he killed himself. Oh, course he didn't. Course he didn't. We've all seen the surveillance camera videos of Hillary Clinton getting him in a chokehold and, squeezing until the life left his body. So we know what happened, unofficially. We understand the significant public interest in this case and will provide updates. Course you will, lads. Earlier in the day, pictures circulated online that appear to show unmarked police cars at Wood Farm and plainclothes officers were gathering outside. Mountbatten Windsor has consistently denied any wrongdoing, even though everyone's got a photo of him doing a bit of wrong. That's a bit weird. And the allegations being investigated on Thursday are separate from those made by Virginia Giuffre, who also definitely didn't kill herself. I mean, come on, lads. That one's more obvious than Kurt Cobain shooting himself in the head with a shotgun 4 times, and all the shells and the gunpowder residue were on the opposite side of the room. Apparently, she claimed she was trafficked to Britain. Of course she was. And then, again, if you believe that, you're a mental case. I don't know what else to tell you. The leaked documents also rock British politics. Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I owe you one, though. In fact, I owe you 2. Wait there.
Ha! Gay!
Go, there we go. Sorted. After it was revealed that he appointed Peter Mandelson to be ambassador to the US. Brilliant. He's got the judgment of a pissed sailor doing 130 in a Ford Capri, hasn't he? It's unbelievable. And that was disclosed and everybody knows about it. And we can finish with this related story that's also going viral. Reform UK has accused the Labour Party of having a diddler problem. Really? The Labour Party, you say? What? You mean the one that's had about 2,000 diddler scandals in the last 6 months? Only accused. Very astute, Nigel. Accusing Labour of having a diddler problem is like accusing Paul Merson of having a cocaine and gambling problem. It's like accusing Oliver Reed of occasionally drinking a wee bit too much. The day after, he drank 4 bottles of whiskey, headbutted a sailor, and then his heart exploded. It's not an accusation, it's a proven fact. Okay, so the entire British establishment is ram-packed with diddlers, and the entire British media class defends them all, and for some reason, you maniacs tolerate it. I don't know what else to tell you. I feel like if the Americans were in as bad a state as the UK's, there'd be 40 million hillbillies combing through the rubble of the White House, drinking moonshine and double-tapping anyone who'd survive. That's how bad it's got in the UK. It's a sick joke, is what it is. It's an endemic problem. Diddling, surprise sex enthusiasm, and corruption is all the British establishment are good for these days. It's an appalling state of affairs. But that's just what I think. If you're convinced the UK is a bastion of integrity and like Keir Starmer, again,
Gay!
You love your country. Yeah, you love it loads. Please let me know in the comments down below. All right, thanks for tuning in. See you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.